Good evening, everybody. Welcome in. We're going to get you caught up on what's going on weather-wise here. We do have a weather impact alert coming our way here for the upcoming weekend, okay? It is later Friday into Saturday into Sunday, and that's because the bitter cold air is going to be surging in here as we go through the day on Friday. We say late Friday. Really, we could probably do that a little earlier now as the colder air looks like it's arriving during the day on Friday by lunchtime. Likely to see temperatures around 10 degrees in St. Louis, wind chills below zero at that point. Then the potential on Saturday for some snow, especially later Saturday into Saturday evening. The snow, one of it there will be, and the question's still there, but what snow falls across the bi-state region will have a very dry, fluffy, powdery consistency. So it doesn't take much moisture to add that up. So what's uncertain at this point? We don't know how far the snow is going to move to the north, how far that northern extent will be. And we also don't know the exact timing on it. Okay, there's two things that are very important when we try to determine how much will fall. Will we have snow on the ground in St. Louis by Saturday night? I'd say yes, there will be at least some snow on the ground. Maybe not a lot, but boy, what's coming our way is this cold air that surges in here Friday into Saturday, lingers into Sunday, and this southern branch of the jet stream has some energy sliding through that's going to help us generate that snow. So let's start with the cold first. We know this is coming, and that's why we issued the weather impact alert day for later Friday into Saturday and Sunday earlier, because this was a guarantee, and it still is locked in. Wind chills Saturday morning, 10 to 20 degrees below zero. Actual temperatures should be around zero. Now, you mix a little moisture with that, and we have some problems. So from Friday morning to Saturday morning, you see the chances for any significant precipitation seem to be off to the south and southwest of St. Louis. But as we go into Saturday night through Sunday morning, at least a pretty decent chance of seeing some accumulation here. This would be only about a 10% chance of getting a quarter of an inch of liquid for St. Louis. But that chance, that probability goes up to 30% or higher once you get down towards Cape Girardeau, back towards Springfield. And then it pushes out as we head from Sunday. So what we're going to see is going to be later Saturday into Saturday night. We actually have a front coming at us right now from the west, and clouds are already starting to roll in from the northwest. We'll see those clouds roll in here as we head during the evening hours. You look out west, and here we have more moisture and more energy just off the coast of California. This is going to push towards the east. That effectively is our next weather maker. So tomorrow, the front comes through. You don't really notice it. We're in the mid-40s. We will be colder on Thursday, but it's a secondary surge of cold air that comes in later Thursday into Thursday night. That means temperatures start dropping, and down we go on Friday. We'll be lucky if the daytime high is 14 on Friday. We'll be near zero Saturday morning and 13 for the high on Sunday. We bring in that snow chance for later Saturday and into Sunday morning. All right, everybody's asking how much snow? I don't know. It's too early, okay? It's really too early to pinpoint it. Will there be snow? Pretty confident south of Interstate 70, the ground will be white. If you go into southern portions of Missouri, down towards Paducah and southern Illinois, odds are there's going to be more than 3 inches of snow. Okay, farther south of that, there's probably going to be 6 to 12 or more inches of snow. And then we're going to get into a hot mess with ice. Parts of Tennessee, northern Mississippi, northern portions of Alabama, even around the Atlanta metro area. So there's going to be some problems winter weather-wise. This is a huge system, okay? You look to the north. Remember, we have dry air feeding into us. And so that dry air tends to limit how far north this snow shield is going to be able to go. We're anticipating a pretty tight area here where you go from no snow to an inch of snow to maybe 3 or 4 inches of snow. It's going to be a pretty sharp gradient across our region as we head into Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. So here's the Arctic high on Friday at noon. We are pulling down those gusty north winds. That's bringing in incredibly dry air. Our dew point temperatures are forecast to drop into the double digits below zero. That's incredibly dry air, okay? That continues to filter in around the Great Lakes and towards us. So as this system slides by to the south and starts pulling that moisture our way, the dry air tends to eat at that. So I think Friday night into Saturday morning, we don't have any problems other than being in the tundra, okay? We're really cold. But as far as having, travel problems, that's not going to happen for us through Saturday morning. Now, you go down towards Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Little Rock, Memphis. By Saturday morning, they are starting to see winter weather impacts for sure. And they just spread across the Mid-South, down into North Georgia, northern Alabama. Icy conditions there. Don't know how bad it's going to be, but there is the potential for some significant power outages in areas that see the heaviest freezing rain. And it could be one of those things that, like a hurricane that comes through, the damage is widespread and it takes days to get the power back. So if you have friends down along the Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, Tennessee border, upstate South Carolina, maybe even into other portions, the Midlands of South Carolina and the Sandhills of North Carolina, they may be looking at some significant freezing rain. But the greatest travel concerns will be in this area. Memphis Airport, Nashville Airport, Atlanta Airport, Charlotte Airport. Look at this, Dallas, Little Rock, Oklahoma City. Okay, it's just going to be rain down around New Orleans. So it's just rain there. But, it's not going to be good travel on Saturday into Saturday night, early on Sunday, going from St. Louis south, southwest, or really on 64 going east over towards Louisville and into Cincinnati. Problems there. So from later Friday, and really I think we almost could go at this point and say from midday Friday into Friday night, Saturday, and then in through at least the first half of Sunday. That's when the coldest air is here. Our actual air temperatures in the morning hours on Saturday and Sunday morning, single digits, maybe below zero. Some snow mixed in. That's cold enough where we could have some pipes burst because of the cold. When we get the snow, especially for areas south of I-70 on both sides of the river, potentially slippery conditions. It's going to be a very dry, fluffy snow. So say you get 1/10 of an inch of liquid. That could end up being 2 inches of snow, maybe 2.5 inches of snow. It's going to be that kind of dry snow that we deal with. And again, the wind chills are going to be a big issue here. Wind chills, double digits below zero here. Probabilities for an inch or more of snow in St. Louis this weekend. The American model has jumped up to 45%, the European at 75%, the Canadian at 90%. I'd say we're at 60 to 70% for at least an inch of snow in St. Louis Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. That's just my gut feeling right now. I think we'll have to bump up the probability of precipitation some on Saturday. It's really neither here nor there. I mean, it's not going to be a huge snow, we don't think, for St. Louis. That should say to our south. But with it only being 1 Saturday morning, 13 Saturday afternoon, 5 for Sunday morning's high, and then 24 on Sunday, any snow that falls is not going anywhere. And because of those cold temperatures, that means the chemical treatments are not as effective. So that's something to consider here. Travel later Saturday into Saturday night, not recommended. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's not going to be recommended. It's cold. If you do have to go somewhere, make sure you have blankets in the car. Make sure this weekend that your smoke detectors are working if you're staying at home, that you're heating your home safely, all right? And, just be prepared to spend a couple of days inside or close by and not really doing anything. By the time we get to Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, temperatures will moderate a bit. We will go back into the mid-30s for highs at that point. Definitely looking at some active weather here over the next few days. Our weather impact alert from Friday into Sunday.